Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're at the Rollright Stones, which is probably one of the most famous stone circles in the Cotswolds. The stones were estimated to have been built between 3800 BCE and 1500 BCE, which was a really long time ago. I can't even comprehend that. We're just parked up at the lay-by next to the stones, and yeah, we'll go check them out.
So there's 3 different standing stones in this area. There's the King's Stone, the Whispering Knight, and the King's Men Standing Circle. So we're going to go and explore 3 of them today.
As a little bit of a side note, there's lots of folklore associated with each of the 3 stones, and we'll talk you through a little bit of it. The King's Stone is shaped a little bit weirdly, and the notice board over there said it was shaped like a seal balancing a rock on its head, and that is because in the 19th century people would come and chip bits off of it for good luck in order to keep the devil at bay. And because of this, the Rollright Stones were one of the first monuments to be protected, and to this day it is still illegal to damage the stones in any way. Would you like to hear, Hannah, the legend of the King Stone?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm reading it from my phone because I took a picture of the notice board. The king one day was marching with his army, and he met a witch who challenged him, saying, 7 long strides shalt thou take, and if Long Compton thou canst see, King of England thou shalt be. Is that a good witch impression?
That was probably on point.
That's exactly what the witch sounded like. And the king went off and said, stick, stock, stone, as King of England I shall be known. However, on his 7th stride, the ground rose up before him in a long mound, and the witch laughed and cackled, as Long Compton thou canst not see, King of England thou shalt not be. Rise up, stick, and stand still, stone, for King of England thou shalt be none. Thou and thy men horse stones shall be, and I myself an eldern tree. I think if any productions need a witch, I'm your guy. But yeah, and then all of the king and his army turned to stone, and the witch turned herself into an elder tree to watch over them.
Where's the elder tree?
It's by the Whispering, the King's Men, so we'll go over and check that next, the King's Men, which is the standing circle. But yeah, that is the legend of the King's Stone. We're now approaching the King's Men, which is an ancient standing circle, stone circle. The folklore with this one is very much that the King's Men were just sat in a circle around a campfire, and as the king turned to stone, the King's Men also turned to stone. So very much tied in.
And apparently you can never count the same amount of stones twice. So I really want to go around and try and count it.
3 times.
3 times?
3 times.
Oh gosh, I'm going to be so dizzy.
But if you can get the same number all 3 times, apparently you can make any wish that you want.
So I think it's worth it.
I think, yeah, it's worth it. Do you want to give it a go?
Yeah, I'm going to start with this big stone.
Okay. Walking round, it's a good tactic. I think I would have gone in the middle and just counted from there, but actually I think walking around is a really good tactic. Just got to do it 3 times, remember? Easy to get lost. I think the problem with it is that there are so many stones which are sort of buried in the ground and with their heads only poking up, so it's quite easy to miss.
Where do I start?
You started from one of those big ones.
Yeah, 71 I got.
71, okay. You got to do it 2 more times now.
Okay. Do you want to come around with me and count 2?
Okay. 11, 12, are we counting that one?
Yeah.
13, 14, wait, are we counting that one?
Yeah.
15, 2, 73.
73.
I got 73, we're 2 out.
No. It's also quite subjective which ones are counted as rocks and which ones aren't, because there's some really flat ones that aren't the same colour as the rest, but they're still in the circle, but I didn't count those because they look different. Which, saying that
rock racist.
This sounds really bad saying that out loud. And then there's some rocks, like the one over there, that looks like it might be 3 rocks, but it's so covered in grass that it could just be 1 rock with all the peaks standing out, so who knows what the actual number is.
But it looks like we're not going to get a wish.
Not this time anyway. So this behind me is that elder tree that is said to be the witch that overlooks all of the standing stones, so yeah, it's really cool. People have decorated it with all these little trinkets and ribbons.
This is really creepy.
It is really creepy.
Gonna haunt my dreams.
There used to be a circle of them, didn't there?
Yeah, I think it's like
All
a
in the
temporary art installation.
I really liked them with the circle. It was more wholesome because they were all like
They were all dancing.
in a circle.
Yeah.
Now this one's just a freaky.
It is a bit, yeah. Why has it got... It looks like a... I don't know what it looks like.
Looks like something from Stranger Things.
Oh my god, it's like something from Stranger Things. Are you struggling a bit?
Oh no, it's broken.
Oh no! Our gate! It's broken!
I almost impaled myself on that then. I'm starting to think this little forest path isn't meant to be used.
I don't know, it's
There's
cute.
a perfectly
Yeah, there's a perfectly good path here, but it was quite cute to go the forest path.
Yeah.
It's a bit more effort than you might first think. Nice. The one thing I'd say I don't really like about this place is
Can I guess what you're going to say?
it's so close to the main road.
Yeah.
And I know that it can't be helped, you know, you can't help where roads are going to be placed and where ancient standing stones are going to be. But could you imagine being, I don't know, a druid, like a modern druid or a modern pagan, and you're coming to this special site full of folklore and history, and suddenly a lorry just drives past tooting its horn?
Yeah, it kind of, yeah, it definitely doesn't add to the atmosphere.
No, it's nice, like you can still hear the birds and it's, you know, it is nice, but it just sort of, I don't know, detracts from it a little bit. So just be wary that there is a main road right next to it.
Oh wow, look at these little dolls. Maybe they're like
Oh, those corn dolls, look at that.
maybe they're like offerings to the knights and the king. I wonder what these knights were doing when they got turned to stone.
Well, so the legend of the Whispering Knights is that they were plotting to overthrow their king. I know, backstabbers.
Sneaky.
Sneaky. And while they were whispering and plotting to overthrow the king, they unfortunately got turned to stone at the same time as all the others. And they've been standing here. But an even weirder legend is that on New Year's Day, apparently they go down to the brook in the valley to grab a drink.
Just on New Year's Day, there's just none there.
Just none there, we
You see
come
the
there
little
like,
stones
just like
walking up.
waddling along. Oh, it's cute.
I just spotted some writing, which looks like Latin, on this bench behind me. I just looked it up and it translates to "'tis a rare place to rest at," which I think is quite cool and fitting.
So those are the 3 stone formations that make up the Rollright Stones. I love the fact that they've interwoven all the folklore into one amazing story, aside from maybe going down to Long Compton to the brook to drink. That's a bit weird, but you know, each to their own. But it's a really, if you're in the Cotswolds, this is an absolute must-see. They're so accessible just on the side of the road. I'd really recommend it, yeah.
And if any of you do go and visit, please let us know in the comments how many stones you counted in the stone
Yes.
circle. See how off we were.
Yeah. And did your wish come true if you managed to count all of it? But aside from that, we'll see you on the next one.
See you next time.
Bye.